Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Small Business Stories. You know me, Dr. LL, Loralyn Mears, your host. You know the voice by now. And you may even know our guest today, Jennifer Christensen. She is part of, actually, the founder behind Spark Story Marketing, and she's making an impact. Here's the fun part. She's dialing in from, wait for it, Anchorage, Alaska. I love how this show is going global. Jennifer, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Excellent. And just for folks in the audience, Jennifer and I had some back and forth. It was this, it was that, it was calendar chaos, it was scheduling hell, it was Calendly and Microsoft didn't play nice, and then the sync app that I used to tie them together didn't connect. It was a freaking disaster, a gong show, but we made it happen. But I
We did.
think it's symbolic of entrepreneurship, right?
I really do. I think it's working through all of those challenges and not giving up when you just feel like, oh my gosh, like why, if you start questioning why it's happening, then you're definitely going to give up. So you have to just keep going.
That's right, right? Just blinders on, believe. No, that's not say, don't look at any of the data and just keep beating your head into
Of
a wall. We're
course. Of
not
course.
saying that.
Yeah.
But if you believe in something and you're aligned, right? Like Simon Sinek says, start with why. And I
Yes.
knew I wanted to have you as a guest. I reached out to you, and then there was all this back and forth and stuff. So I'm glad we finally made it happen. Just
Me too.
took some time. That's all. All right, let's dive right into it. So
Sure.
I always give folks the visual experience because most of our listeners are downloading the podcast, listening it to from wherever they are, their cars, this, that, and we're hoping they're not watching their video experience while they're driving, but that's a separate story. So Jennifer, give us the lay of the land. Talk to us about Anchorage, your shop in, where you are. She's in a lovely red sleeveless dress, and so we're getting the visual here.
It is -2 out, but I just love to dress the way I dress, and I figure inside is warm and I can wear a coat. So, but it's a great day. I'm at such a great point in my life and entrepreneurship journey, and it is coming off of the hardest point I think I have been through. So this is my third business, and I helped found Beacon Media Marketing 13 and a half years ago out of Anchorage, Alaska. We grew to be a large national company. And I wanted to exit from that company about 6 months ago. That exit took place then, gosh, it's been like 4 months. And then I've been helping scale my husband's business, Welcome Anchorage Tours. So we've scaled that up to be a nice large business. And now I've started Spark Story Marketing, which is really the fulfillment of really of my dreams. So I'm very excited to be in this place. And the first couple months were a little scary, but it's really been amazing what's happening. So when you're truly aligned, it is the best feeling in the world. It is scary, of course, but all entrepreneurship is. So you might as well do it in a way that is absolutely aligned with who you are and what you believe and the impact you want to make in the world.
Oh, amen to that, because that's what it's about. I'm constantly on the show. I feel like a broken record going, it's not bros and Lambos. You don't put up one video, think, oh yeah, it's going to go viral because you put the hashtag viral. Not happening. Right? No, I have folks who I mentor and who do that. And I'm saying, don't do that. Like, no, I'm going to. And then I get into the bless your heart. I know your daughter's trying to help you, but
Yeah.
no, like shining music. Like
Right.
that's right.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, it's really, I don't blame, business owners for believing that, because if you look at the data out there, especially this era that we just came through, I have actually a trademark saying, but I believe we've come out of the information era and we've come into the age of intelligence. And I don't just mean AI by that. I mean discernment. I mean wisdom. I mean a different time that we need to look at things. But I don't blame business owners, because all they get all day long is inundated with all these get rich quick. This marketing thing made me $1 million. It's going to blow up. Let's just talk real numbers. Less than 8% of businesses in the US that are operating right now are even at 1 million in revenue. That's
Yeah.
the bottom line. And less than like 2% of women owned businesses are at 1 million. So all the stuff that you're seeing is just people wanting to make money off of you. And that's really the bottom line of it. Real marketing, authentic marketing, what actually gets your message out there. Nothing is ever as easy as you think it's going to be. It takes time and effort. AI is making great inroads to make things easier for us. And I love it. I'm using it. I'm showing clients how to use it. I speak about it. I help people with it. But still, ultimately, it's the foundational pieces of marketing and business that almost always are the issue and you need to focus on first before you can really grow.
Well, it's walk before you run, right?
Yeah,
Classic.
it is. And the problem is it sounds boring, right? It sounds like I think it's like dieting, right? Like we all know the basics of what we need to do, but we don't want to hear that. We want to hear you've got some magic thing and maybe now
GLP-1.
yeah, I was saying now it's Ozempic, maybe we kind of do, right? And like I'm all maybe like Ozempic's like the AI of marketing right now, right? Like there is things you can do that do make things better and easier. But you still have to have the plan. You still have to be willing to put in the time and the effort on the other pieces. It's not going to do it all for you.
No. So, oh my goodness, there's so many layers and so many things here. So I'm just like, oh, come on, Jennifer, I'm all fired up, right? Like, let's get into myth busting mode. So,
Yeah.
where do we even start? So,
Just
on
go
the
there.
numbers.
Yeah.
So, startup companies, particularly in tech that have anything that is complex, fewer than 6% make it to their 1 year anniversary. So, let's put that number out there.
Love
Then,
it.
let's put some of these other numbers out there that, with respect to now podcasts, there are 100 million podcasts, right? So how do you get noticed? Social media accounts, there's 10 billion. So, how do you get noticed? It's certainly not by putting hashtag viral on your content, right?
Yeah. Right.
So, but that is the whole problem. I think that everybody has been fed this load of nonsense, and now we've got our AI talking to other people's AI. Oh my goodness, there's so much we have to get into. So, I think even before we get into all that good stuff, let's
Yeah.
roll it back to how you started the show, saying that you are fully aligned. This is your dream, and you're a serial entrepreneur. You've had many successful companies and exits. Let's talk about the part of the year, to whatever extent you're willing to share, that
Yeah.
was difficult because we talk about exit and we talk about having to make those business divorces and separations. They ain't easy, folks. They're evil and
Yeah.
they really, really hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very, very blessed. And then I had an incredible partner who started to begin with. And we were really, really good friends and really cared about each other deeply and very much, respected each other. And so when I started feeling unaligned with where the company was going, and it's going in a great direction, that's the thing. Like, it doesn't have to be these things, people talk about divorces, and yeah, it is similar. And maybe I'm just incredibly lucky and blessed that mine wasn't like that because it doesn't have to be some horrible thing. But for me, it was my passion is small businesses. That is like my deep passion. And so the company was going to, corporate more that direction of definitely more the larger companies and bigger price tags for companies coming in. And that is all great. Like those companies need to be served. That's just not what I'm passionate about. So I'm passionate about startups. I'm passionate about the mom and pop. I love working directly working directly with the owner, not necessarily a board. And then really like lifestyle, hitting this point in my life, I'm in my 50s and hitting this point, it was like, okay, I only have so much time left to do what I want to do. And it did feel crazy to leave something that secure for sure. But I mean, when am I going to do it if I don't do this now? And then there was some other things. There were some personal things of like my health started suffering. I do believe when we're out of alignment,
Yeah.
spiritually, emotionally, all of those things, my body really started showing that in so many ways. I was really sick a lot over the course of the year. And I really feel that was my body going, okay, you need to get out of this. Um, Third thing was I'm an extrovert, like 95% extrovert. And I was spending all day, every day on Zoom. So all of our clients are national. I mean, they had some in Alaska, but the majority was national. And so almost all my time was meetings on Zoom, and I could just feel like my energy, my life, everything was just getting miserable. So it doesn't have to be a horrible thing that drives an exit, right? It can be just, I think the key for this era that we're in now is alignment. We need to be aligned with what we're meant to do. And I know that can be scary, but if you're not, I think the other effects that happen, at least for me and my story, that I had I had to make that choice. So I'm so grateful to have a positive exit and be able to leave. And Beacon is doing great, and that is awesome for them. And I am doing great where I am, and it's where, how it's meant to be.
Eh, I appreciate that and you sharing. And yes, as much as they're doing fantastic and all that, it's about you and on this show. And I'm really glad that you're sharing the real story because we said, yeah, we're going into like Mythbuster mode here. None of
Yeah,
this, oh, everything's perfect. We know, right? Most of us have that internal compass that
yeah,
some things not dialed in right. Maybe it's difficult for us to figure out, but we start seeing how it manifests.
yeah.
And even people that say like, "Oh, this is too woo woo." There goes Loralyn again on that woo woo alt left side. No, when your body is giving it up, that's a sign. Like it's a two by four
Absolutely.
on the head side.
Yeah. And that shouldn't be woo-woo. I mean, I'm a Christian. I consider myself pretty conservative. That's not woo-woo. That is body, soul, spirit. Like we are connected. And I mean, we're seeing this. It's not just women that feel this way, right? I mean,
Right.
you can look at all the leadership books, and like Simon Sinek is a phenomenal example. But when you start integrating your whole self into the work you're doing, and leaders talk about this all the time, if they're not aligned physically even with the work they're doing, like you can see the difference in stats of how well they do as a leader or an owner of a business or all those things. We all know this stuff. It's not woo woo. It's just Western culture has basically, had a silo all these different areas of our lives, but that's not real anymore. That's not real.
I don't think so. And we can talk about everything, which is the fabulous thing now, right? There are no holds barred. We don't have to, let's keep it in. Let's not do, yeah, it's no, here it is. Bleh, right?
Right.
We've become this culture of just saying what we think.
Yeah, which I love. So, yeah, my encouragement to people, my big walk away from all of that. So how do you do that? And I think part of it is it's any entrepreneurship. I'm sure you've had a lot of people on the show talk about this, but any entrepreneurship, you're only going to go as far as you have personal growth. So wherever you are, like if you're struggling with, let's say, I don't think I deserve to be paid a lot of money. I don't have like, faith in myself of like my self-worth. If you're struggling with those things, which a lot of women do, it will limit the amount of money you're going to make because you're not going to price yourself well. If you don't learn and grow into being a good leader, you're not going to be able to manage people. So I think most of our restraints we can look at, oh my gosh, the economy and competition, and we can look at all these other things. But I really believe most of the restraints are us personally. And I can speak for myself. I had stuff in myself I had to deal with too. It's not just like it's somebody else's fault. I had to look at myself and go, okay, what am I really good at? What is the value that I bring? What is real? What can I sustain?
Bingo, bingo. And that's just it. It's that level of self-awareness where you really got to take a tough look at yourself and go, the whole thing, right? And yoga and whatever else, release what is no longer serving you. And it
Yes.
can be your limiting beliefs, as you've talked about. It can be business partners, it can be consultants, it can be people you're working with, it can be friends, it can be family members, it can be anyone and anything,
Yeah.
right? Husbands. I tossed one to the curb, years ago, and that was like the best move I ever did. Only thing was, why didn't I do it sooner? Right? So we've got to
We
figure that
know,
out.
right? We know with
Right.
that is a thing for sure. So I am very, very, I have a 33-year-old, 33 marriage, and I do have the best husband in the world. I'm just gonna say that right now. But to your point, if I didn't have somebody who is incredibly supportive of what I am doing and understands, my ADD business entrepreneurship thing, there's no way that you have to have the right people in your lives to support you. And then how can you truly give out to others? Because I believe we all have a mission to impact others in a positive way. So how can you truly give that out if you're not starting from a strong foundation?
No, oxygen mask theory. It
Yeah.
takes us so long to learn, and I'm just getting into that. And you and
Yeah.
I see a lot of parallels. We're 50-ish
Yeah.
gals. We're both blondies. For those of you who hadn't seen, On the Edge,
Yeah, I
go
know.
now
I
watch it.
love your hair. I was like when I was looking up your stuff, I was like, I love her style.
Thank you.
So yeah, I like that you're everything is great. So yeah, and it's good to feel good about ourselves, right? And to take care of ourselves and all of those things. So well what else? What other questions do you have
All
about
right.
business and all of it?
So there's so much of this here. So let's get into it. One of the other comments that you talked about is just in the pre-show, right? We'll have the pre-show ramble, just in case if you
Yeah,
haven't been on a podcast. There are conversations that happen before we start recording, right?
true.
And some good, some bad, some, we'll go with it. But one of the things that you touched on, I think, is really important. You didn't say it quite this way, but the world's a dumpster fire right now. There's so much pressure, so much overwhelm. Should I buy this thing? I need this AI tool. Oh, I need this. I need that. Oh my goodness, I bought that. I spent a fortune, but then it didn't work. And now I've got to spend 5,000 to some IT guy to install it. Oh, wait, now it's not set up properly. People are spinning. I mentor a lot of entrepreneurs and they're in tears in front of me. They're like,
Yes.
I don't know what to do, Laurelyn. I've got no money left. I blew it. I can't figure this out. What do I do?
Absolutely. I've been doing this type of work for almost 15 years now. I have never seen businesses where they are right now. So I've been in the AI world for 4 years. So I was even before ChatGPT. I've always been an early adapter. I was first school on my computer in high school to age myself. I already told you I'm in 50s.
It's okay. We're the
But
same age, Jennifer. It's
yeah.
good.
So I mean, but I've always been that like nerdy, it not nerdy from the standpoint of I wanted to go code, but like really into the future, like futuristic. Always like from the time I was little, I was always like, oh, what's next? And like, what does that mean? And like really embracing that. So it's just part of my personality. So I started seeing, from marketing side where AI was going and started really getting heavy into it about 4 years ago, research, and then ended up speaking at conferences about it, going to different conferences, becoming certified. And then I went through a dark night of the soul. And the dark night of the soul, about 2 years into it, I was like, oh my God, I don't even know if I like where this is going. And this is changing everything. This is going to change everything. I really do believe that AI and quantum. And so I didn't want to talk about it for like 6 months. I'm like, I didn't want to deal with this. Like, this is just too much. And then finally, what I came back around to is that, okay, all this time I put into this, all this time of researching it, developing my own GPT, like really getting into it, I need to use this to help other people because I think everybody is going to experience some level of overwhelm and just feeling like, what is the deal? I'm not saying I have all the answers, but I feel like I can guide a little bit ahead of like, okay, I've tried all those tools. I mean, I've literally tried over 50 tools and worked with them. So I know a lot of what's out there. Some of like what you said are not going to be around very soon. And I can help people just kind of like, okay, let's go back to the basics. The basics of business still apply. The basics of messaging still apply. Like the foundational truths of these rules in which we have set up the world, like still apply. Now let's look at how AI can either help, make things a little bit quicker in these certain areas. Certainly it's going to transform things on a larger level, but like, let's do this in a thoughtful way. Back to your question. I'm sorry, that was a very long intro, but I wanted to give context about why I understand this stuff a little bit. But back to your question about businesses. So every business that we're helping right now, we've actually like dove into more IT issues. We've dove into foundational websites. They can't find passwords. Things are just, I feel like things have just overgrown where people have just bought tech piece after tech piece, not having them matched. Like what happened with our calendars, right? Like
Yes.
this is happening though all over, where it's like there's so many different places now to have your information. Like most of my clients just going in and cleaning up their like phone number and their website address and all of their basics across all the channels gives them like a boost in business because things are wrong all over the place because they didn't keep up with it. And who can?
No.
right? So that is again where AI can come in, but until like some of those foundational basics are taken care of, the AI just ends up actually exasperating the problem. It does not make things better because now you're just added a layer on a foundation that isn't solid.
Oh, bingo,
And
bingo.
so I'm loving it's been really interesting. My partner and I brought in a partner to my new business, Sarah, who I worked with at Beacon for a long time. And she was my assistant. Now she's my partner. She's amazing. But so we have been doing so much like grunt work. I mean, hours and hours and hours of just helping people literally untangle wires is what it feels like. And the analogy I gave to a client the other day was, okay, like our name is Spark Story, and our mission is to help spark the story, literally, like get your message out there, get this viral thing going, right? But if the wood is wet and we don't have enough wood, like we have to deal with that first. And I thought people would be kind of resistant on that because usually people are like, okay, just get me going, just turn the ads on, make all this work. But I think because of what's happened over the last couple of years, they're so exhausted and so like they're realizing and recognizing that, okay, this is just a mess, you know? And so having us actually untangle so many different things for people has been actually made me feel amazing. Like I feel so happy to do it because I know now I'm setting up the strong foundation and that I can really help them grow.
Oh, yeah. It is key.
Yeah.
I said, and I knew, like I said, I wanted to have you on the show. We're both ADHD squirrels, like so
Yeah.
many of the entrepreneurs on
100%.
here, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's that piece, and you're a techno weenie. Like me, I consider myself a cool nerd. I'm dabbling in everything, try everything. But I'm
Yeah.
also your typical client too, in that I have so many software packages. I need to get that app. I can't remember the name that tells you where you're subscribed or whatever
Right.
else.
I'm sure it's like, right.
It's,
You'd be like,
it's
oh no. Yeah.
well, that's just it. I'm terrified. I have so many things I buy because I like to support other entrepreneurs, especially I've
Sure.
always, like you, always been, forget the leading edge. I'm on the bleeding edge, like a head, right,
Yeah.
of where the blood is, never mind where the knife is, right? And so I look at all that and I think, how many lifetime subscription packages and stuff did I buy in? You know, these AppSumos, this, that, and that. I don't even know. I don't even
I'm
know
sure
where
it's a
to get
ton.
started. It's terrifying.
And the
What a
truth is
waste.
really like, I mean, I am like right now, people are like, okay, how many LLMs are you using? And I'm like, okay, I'm only using ChatGPT right now. And I did the $200 version. So I have like the very high end. I have it set up. I have my GPTs. But yes, I could use Gemini. Yes, I could, but I know what will happen if I do that. Right. So then it will just become one more thing that I'm going to multiple different sources for. I'm getting 99% of anything and everything I could ever want from that one source. I do have about 10 other apps that we use for our clients, but we've pared that down tremendously. I think we had 21 when we started that we were like testing at various levels. I have a whole format that I take people through now before you buy, how to test, how to decide whether this is actually has the use case that's really going to save you money and really save you time because getting caught in that is not actually going to move you ahead long term.
No. And
Yeah.
that's just it. Like I said, I've seen that with myself. Again,
Yeah.
always trying to reach out, spin out, being the octopus here, 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 you know, and with only 8 arms, but juggling 20 balls, which doesn't
Right.
work because they do fall. And the math doesn't work, right?
No, and I think 80%, is it 75 or 80% of entrepreneurs are ADD?
Well, actually, the number is 55%
Is it 55
self-identify,
self-identify? Okay.
right? And
Okay.
so let's just call it for what it is.
A
That's
huge
half.
number.
I mean, at least,
Yeah.
right? And that's the thing. But it's also you highlighted something else in the podcast where as much as it was scary for you to leave a really, reputable agency, making good money, stability, all that stuff, and to do the leap so that it would align better with who you are, right? I can see
Right.
the chakras lighting up so that there's, all the
Yeah.
alignment there. You have to take risks. And too many people are getting into entrepreneurship. I think this is my soapbox. I think because they lost their job and they
Mhm.
think, well, everybody else does it. How hard can it be to be a
Oh
YouTube
my
influencer,
gosh.
throw some
Right.
crap with AI on social media and call it done?
Yeah. Well, and there's like 1 out of 10,000 that is doing that. And I love Gary Vee, but he does encourage kind of everybody to do that. And I'm like, and then
Do
he'll
it.
say, and then he'll even say, well, most people won't. Obviously, not everybody can be an influencer. Most people won't get that. Yeah, I think it's false promises. I'm a huge like Dave Ramsey fan. I'm a huge fan of
Hmm.
people who actually talk about doing real work that
Yeah.
produces real results. And I don't mean that like being an influencer isn't real work. I mean, I don't know if you saw the interview with Mr. Beast. Did you see that?
Yes.
It really broke my heart.
Well, the interview, Diary of a CEO, when he was on
Yeah.
that, yes, yes, it
Yeah,
was
it broke my heart because I was just like,
unbelievable.
you are so trapped.
Yeah.
And that is not the ultimate goal. You want to, if you build something of sustainable, lasting value, and the thing about being an influencer is it is all on you. So now it is you, it is your face, it is your name, it is your video, just like he was talking about. He does not get sleep, he does not really have a life at all. And if he stopped, it would stop,
Yeah.
and so that, yeah, I was like watching and just like honestly like broke my heart. I was like, okay,
Same.
well, if that's the ultimate of what being an influencer is, like, why would
I don't want it.
of course I don't want that. No,
No.
I want to produce something of value that is sustainable, that can grow beyond me, that can
Oh,
have
yeah.
effects, if I'm not here, like I told you, some health issues I had, like, I had to go for away for surgery for a little bit, even in the new business, and me being gone a week was okay. Like I had stuff
They're
set up.
strong.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, I don't know. I'm not, if that's somebody's dream, I definitely don't want to mess with the dream. Like if that's really what you want to do, but I do think like we're not counting the cost.
No,
What does
no.
that really mean? Yeah.
And it's a naivete that I don't think is healthy.
Yeah.
Again, you look at for the last, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years in a row, something. So whoever's going to fact check me on this, fine, go ahead. But there's the annual study that's done, and they interview about 20,000 teenagers, age 13
Yeah.
to 18.
Yeah.
And they ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up? Without a doubt, number one is an influencer. Number
Yeah.
two is a rapper. And how many people make it? And so they've been told they can do anything, which I also think is a whole disservice that no, you shouldn't get participation trophies. And thank you, state of Pennsylvania, for removing and banning participation trophies because that's
Awesome.
what needs to happen.
Yeah.
It's we've been fed so much of this. So let's flip it around and talk about what is working, what isn't working. So you talk
Yeah.
about the foundational stuff, right? You got to have your DMARC addresses, this, that, all that sort of nonsense that I
Yeah.
don't fully have dialed in, but I keep
Yeah.
working towards the goal. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
foundational stuff. What you guys specialize in, from what I understand in Spark Story, is getting it done fast. Now,
Yeah.
not chincing on the quality or anything like that, but you understand the urgency of the small business owner, I think is the better way to phrase it. Talk to
Yes.
us about what that reaction is when you're connecting with that small business owner who's like, oh my God, I need a campaign like tomorrow.
Yeah. So that is again my joy. So excited about it. I couldn't have even done this dream without AI, 3 or 4 years ago, because basically what we're doing is we're taking my 15 years of like high level CMO experience where I can like look at a business and pretty much know, okay, these are like the main things we need to do, that I would spend $20,000 for a large company to do, charging them 1,000, right? But I can use an AI to take that whole campaign idea and help me execute it. And so I can do it really fast, but it can still be really high quality.
Right.
Same thing with websites. Like we have a phenomenal graphic designer and a great web guy, but we also use Lovable. So like they'll create the design, we throw it in Lovable, we get all of our content through a couple interviews with the client, and we have a working phenomenal website in 7 days. 7 days,
Phenomenal.
which is like that's kind of an entrepreneurial dream, right? I mean,
Sure.
I
Sure.
remember, yeah, and then it does take us, if they want us to convert it to WordPress, which is what we recommend, it does take us 30 days to get all of that worked out. But they have something going, like boom, right? They have it up, it looks the same, it's working, it's good. The long-term sustainability is why we recommend WordPress, but we're able to do these things now in a way of taking that high level expertise, and that is the advantage of AI. I really believe this. If you use what you know and then use AI to supplement and augment, then you can do things like that. You can
Mhm.
put something out that is high quality, because AI slop, people know what that is.
Yes.
That's
Work
doesn't help
slop.
you. Yeah, it does not help you. But if you're getting a real expert and they're using AI to actually implement those things for you, that's how we can. So we've got the speed part, we've got the price part, and the quality part. And that's like the three pieces that you need to be successful. And really, like, people have just been coming to us. So once we got a few clients, people knew we were out there doing this, it's not too good to be true type thing, then we just got like 4 new clients this month, so more than we can handle. So it's definitely, it's working. I'm seeing that, the success of that. And then with some clients, we're just doing that Spark Story package that we talk about for 475, where we just come in and clean everything up. And then all of those clients have converted. So like they started with the cleanup, they knew they needed cleanup, and then they've converted to now doing marketing. But I think it's the two sides of the coin that it just makes me excited. Like, there
Well,
is
there you
a way
go.
to do this and do it well.
And could you have cracked the nut, the holy trifecta, right? Faster, better, cheaper. I don't know, Jennifer. You're
I think
scratching at it.
I think I know, and I know you're not supposed to. I know it's like sacrilege to say that you can do all.
Yeah, we're busting this. Who
I
says?
really do know that, but I think that is the era we're in. I really do.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this, like, we're making purposeful choices where we're keeping our overhead extremely low. Not everybody is going to make those choices. And so I'm not sure, like, cheaper is sustainable for maybe other businesses. Maybe they don't want to do that. And that's okay. Like, no judgment whatsoever. This is just my dream. I want to help in volume. And we have a great team of people behind us that are like local or national, like they're not out of country or anything, but they're all willing to work on a contract basis.
Excellent.
So,
They're getting
so
it done.
yeah, and doing a phenomenal job. So
Yeah.
if we didn't have that too, we couldn't make this happen. And I'm sure we're going to have growth issues. I'm sure we're going to, once we hit like that, maybe 7 figures, I can see, okay, will we be able to sustain that amount of contractors? Will we have to add a middle layer? I can see that there'll probably be some price raises coming in the future, but I want to keep it as accessible as possible.
Well, there you go, right? You got to start somewhere. It's
Yeah.
it's all about get started,
Yeah.
right? Mark Cuban, everybody else, they said just get started.
Yeah. And when you see the sales, when you see, like, to me, that's what right? In business. First of all, before I even started this, I went and talked to a ton of people. And I also think entrepreneurs don't do that.
Yes.
They come up with the idea and they're like, this is going to be so great and everybody's going to want this. And then they try to, like, and they spend a ton of money, they put it out there, and that isn't what people want. So I
No.
also went and talked to people, like, what are you actually willing to pay for? Like, what is keeping you up at night? And they told me, like, everything I've told you, the most basic things, like, my website's broken. I don't know how to fix it. I can't get a hold of my web guy. My Facebook is not performing. I don't even know if it is. I don't know what I should be doing. I mean, they
Or I'm
told me,
locked out of it.
yeah, oh yeah, many, many, many people locked out. Like, that
Mm,
is such a thing now.
right.
And it's crazy. But I mean, it's all so complex. And they're like, I don't have somebody I can trust. Like, I
Right.
can't even get a hold of the person I paid to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, these were all basic problems. This is not what I expected. I expected,
Yeah.
like, kind of big level problems, but it was all just like, this is what's keeping them up at night.
Oh yeah. And then I've seen too folks freaking out, going like, oh my goodness, I'm only getting a couple of likes or this or that. Hey, you're getting started. You're not going to get 50,000 likes and 100,000 followers
No,
overnight. You may
no,
never even get to 5,000 followers.
no,
It's
no.
the crap. So I mean, oh my goodness, like I said, you're preaching to the choir. I got my account, my Instagram was invaded by some bots
Yeah,
earlier in the year. And I looked and like, oh my God, we're growing and growing like gangbusters. It was 10,000 one day, then 11,000, 12,000, 15. I'm like, holy cow, we cracked the nut. Right here we
right.
go. And then I started looking at who was following us, and they were all bare-chested, hairy-chested men from around the world. And I'm thinking, um, that's not what we do. And so I'm like, what the what, right? I had to pay some techno weenie, an ungodly sum, to get the bot out of there, or bots,
Yeah.
whatever was going on. It was like whack-a-mole. Every time we deleted or unfollowed or this or that, five more came up.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it took forever. And now my Instagram is low. I'm only in the few thousands, but they're people, right? They're not
Yeah.
bare-chested, hairy-chested men that are randomly put there by bots. So they're our client base. But it's hard. And people say, oh, you don't have 100,000 followers. Well, no, few do.
Okay, so back up. You said a few thousand, right?
Yeah,
So if you got asked to speak in front of a group of a few thousand people that wanted to hear you speak, wouldn't you be honored by that?
absolutely.
So why are we discounting a few thousand people
Don't
that have
know.
decided that they want to follow you and like hear and watch the stuff that you're sharing? We are so off on this. We are
Yes.
so off on it. I mean, I think our like new Spark Story page has 100 likes at this point. I don't care. I don't care because this, first of all, I keep running into people around town. They're like, oh my gosh, I've been watching you. Oh my gosh, you're doing this. Oh,
See?
wow, I'm so excited for you. Right. And then we get these calls and that's a referral and it's a client.
Right.
So we have
That's what
20 clients.
matters.
We've been in this for like 3.5 months. We have 20 clients. Like that's a dream.
Wow.
Would I rather have that or would I rather have, and I know I'm
5,000
a
fake
marketing.
followers.
Yeah. So what is good marketing? Is good marketing. I think good marketing is that we have 20 clients. That like people have
Yeah,
been, maybe they didn't like my page. That's okay. It's going to take time. They'll see it 10 times before they decide to actually
sure.
follow. I'm fine with that. I'd much rather have them refer me a client
Hell yeah.
and go that way.
And
Like,
I will say thank you to all the, word of mouth folks out there. Thank you for the
yeah,
referrals because that's what it's about. And you talk about marketing, so you see you get fired up here. I have a lot of folks on this podcast, right? It's what I do. We're
yeah.
lucky now. We're ranked. We've crossed that top 100 in disability
Congratulations, by
leadership.
the way.
So
That is,
thank you.
people also don't know how hard that is. I know what those stats are too, and that is a
Yeah.
huge deal.
Yeah, less than 10% of podcasts make it past their 10th episode. We're
Right.
in the 260s, I don't know, somewhere in there. And again, Yo Bros and Lambos, it was not an overnight success thing. This is years and years and years and lots of conversations, but there we go.
But
But all that said, I would say fewer than maybe 10-15% of my guests share or tag once I've published the podcast. Like, what are we doing? What are you doing?
yeah, if you're watching us on video right now or not watching us, sorry, we're both like our
We're
hands are in the air.
exploding head emojis.
Yeah. So
What the
it's
what?
right. So I really believe what that is everything we were talking about in the beginning. People are so overwhelmed. It's like they're just kind of going through the motions,
Yes.
but not realizing that is the hard work. Like that's the stuff Sarah and I've been doing. Okay, let's go through and do your basics. Your basics are you have relationships. Like you and I now have met. We have both invested not only all the calendar time, but we've invested, 45 minutes to an hour to get to know each other. Like that
Yeah.
matters. That's my time. That's your time.
Yeah.
I'm of course going to share this
Thank you.
and put it out there because why would I invest this time and not do that? It's like the smallest little thing.
It's
Would you show up at a
probably,
conference and speak or like, spend all this money to be there and your time to be there and not like do follow up?
I don't get it, but it's a thing.
Yeah,
So,
it's a huge thing.
it's a bit of my soapbox because we're here to amplify each other. I mean, that's the
Yes.
whole point.
Yes.
I enjoy doing it. The guests generally enjoy it, and that's what you want to do. And like, how do you get two for three for four for one, right?
Yeah.
Amplify it, make it easy. Here's the thumbnails, here's the links, here's the clips, right?
Yeah.
Nothing. Crickets.
I
Crickets.
don't even know what to say about that.
I
That
know,
one is that one is weird. I
right?
but
And I'm
I
like,
really do think it's like you're just I mean there's lots of ways to do business, right? There's ways to do business where you're just running on a treadmill all the time and just trying to like, catch that next thing. And then there's, what I prefer, which is weightlifting, which is you're being thoughtful and building muscle over time. I know you need to do both, but I really like the weightlifting better. Um, but but really like if you are thoughtful and do the follow through and I know it's boring, but it works.
I
Like
know.
Sarah and I were talking like the relationships we're developing right now are so deep with each of these people because we're helping stuff that's really icky to them. They don't like to do it. These are long-term relationships. This is
Yes.
not like okay, make everything happen for me. And if you don't, I'm going to fire you and go hire the next bright, shiny thing. And so if that's what you're chasing, realize like if you're chasing that bright, shiny thing and that's how you're marketing yourself, like they're just going to replace you with the next one too.
Yeah, that's just it. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Bingo, bingo. I think that's great advice and might be a good place to wrap the show. Although I feel like I could talk to you forever. And too
I do
bad
too.
Anchorage is so far away. I'd come down to your studio, go like, all right, let's
Well,
chat.
my daughter lives in New York City, so I am there. Like I'm there quite a bit. My
Ooh,
oldest daughter is there and just got married there, and love the area. Love visiting.
I'm on the other side of the Hudson.
I know, but it's right
Oh,
there.
Jersey. Yeah, yeah. People are, greater New York area. Yeah, I'm in Jersey, right? I'm a Jersey girl. There it is. You can't deny it. I'm on this side of the Hudson. And oh, by the way, for any of the listeners, that's why the pizza and bagels taste so freaking good, is because of the dirty water in the Hudson. So there you go, right? Take that. All right. So
They do taste good. Yeah.
they do, right? Oh my God, it's amazing.
Amazing. Yeah,
I
it
I
is.
was on a quest last week. I don't know, I was on this pizza kick, just talking about New York. And on the path from where I go to this one client, walking to the Port Authority bus station.
Yeah.
It's about 6 blocks, and there's 8 pizza places on the same side. I'm not even crossing the street. There's 8. So last week I did all 8. I said, I'm going to do a pizza tasting contest and figure out which one is best. So I know from now on, because I'm tired of walking by them, then I can't remember I did this one. I'm like, oh, was that the really good one? And then it wasn't, whatever.
Yeah,
Anyway,
right.
fortunes later, because a slice of pizza is $8 in New York City,
Right.
just
So
in
what is
case
the
people know.
best? Tell us so I know next
Well,
time.
so it's the one closest to the Port Authority. It's called
Okay.
Little Italy, and they have the best crust, the best white pizza. It is beyond. So they are going to be getting my business all the time from now on
Little
and just skip
Italy,
over the
here's
other
your shout
ones.
out.
I should ping them like, hey, our
Exactly.
podcast is ranked. You can get some viewers here. Anyway, that's aside the point. But
Yeah.
let's talk about you, how people can find Spark Story, Jennifer, how people can work with you from Alaska, from wherever they are.
Yeah, we have clients all over. We have one client in New York right now, like out of my 20, Ohio, Texas, Hawaii. So we've got clients all over. And like I said, I'm in New York at least once a quarter. But okay, so easiest way to reach me, LinkedIn, Jennifer Christensen, AK. I think I'm one of the only Jennifer Christensen spelled Tensen on LinkedIn. And I always respond on there, usually pretty quickly. And I always offer people a free 30-minute conversation.
It's
So if they
nice.
just want a free 30-minute, like, hey, would you look at my GEO? Like, why am I not ranking on AI? Would you look at this hard problem I have in marketing? Like, what can I do? I will totally help you. I love to do it. Makes me happy. But next best place is our website, sparkstorymarketing.com, or any of our socials, Spark Story Marketing, and we respond pretty quickly.
That's awesome because that's the key. There you go.
Yeah,
You're doing
yeah,
that, all those things right. All right. Last question, signature question, hundreds of
yeah,
guests later. If
yeah.
we got into that closet of yours in Alaska and looked
Closet.
in your footwear,
Yeah,
is there a pair of shoes, boots, something that personifies who you, Jennifer Christensen, spelled
yeah,
Chris Ten Sen,
yeah.
who
Okay,
you are?
yes, I'm gonna show you because I'm actually
Oh, I
wearing.
get to see. Ooh, we get the
Yeah,
visual. Most people don't do
yeah.
the visual. I love
So
it.
these are me to a T. Like this
Okay.
is, yeah, this is, well, if I didn't live in Alaska, I don't know if they would be. But so these are boots that have sparkle.
Oh, you are a glitter girl. We are cut from the same cloth. I knew
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So I mean, I love it because they're like the super practical winter boots that I have to wear because it's -2 and icy out.
Yeah,
Like I said, if I was in another California or something, probably wouldn't be boots. But the fact that they have sparkle and they look great and are fun, like that is me.
excellent. Well,
Yeah.
from one glitter girl and fellow ADHD squirrel to another, Jennifer Christensen, Spark Story Marketing. It's been a pleasure having you on our show today, and we wish you tremendous continued success getting all those small businesses lined up with the foundations and then grow, grow, grow.
Thank you so much. What a awesome time. What a great time.